Hello and welcome to the U. Up next, hear about new changes for the Penn State sorority women in their social life.
In world and national news, we'll be talking about the first ever test tube baby penguin born in SeaWorld San Diego.
And we'll be discussing how Kim K had what it took to break the internet.
And also, we'll be talking about a couple of things that we're thankful for. Up next on the U. Welcome to the U. I'm Laura Barbosa.
I'm Laurel Heineman.
And I'm Adiola Bakre.
So the Penn State Panel Council has a new change in their executive board, and it's a completely new one for next year. The president is Abby Renko. And she's a sister of Delta Zeta, and she's a junior studying psych. So I think this is a great change. She's been working towards it. I know I talked to her last week, interviewing her about it, and she's super excited.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm not in a sorority or anything, but from reading the articles about her and whatnot, it seems like she's really pushing to strive for more for the sororities and Greek life and whatnot.
That's so great because, you know, a lot of people kind of think of Greek life as like all partying and whatever. So it's great to know that they have like people willing to make good changes and like.
Yeah.
And she's only a junior too.
She's only a junior.
So very ambitious. Good for her.
Yeah, and regarding to, you know, the party changes and things like that, they're also trying to bring in a new policy of changing the socials from 3 to only 2, taking out Thursday socials. I know from a Greek perspective, a lot of my friends are Greek. I'm Greek. They're very upset about it, but just like Abby said, she's trying to bring in a new light to sorority women on campus.
I think it helps legitimize like why it is a sisterhood. Like it's more than just partying and stuff. So
yeah, and I know also they're doing a wristband thing for only 21-year-olds. So it's also such a great change because underage people drink at Greek events. So now they're doing this whole 21 and up thing.
I'm just curious though because she had mentioned that she is going to hire a security company to take care of the wristband situation and whatnot. I'm just wondering how, like, once they do hire someone, how is that going to work out? You know, like, because it's dark and I mean, you might like have a fake wristband on, or I don't know. People get around this in some way, so I'm just curious.
There's always a way around, though. So.
There is always a way, but I feel ending and everything, it's always about alcohol education, and I believe they're implementing different programs and things like that to educate those sorority women at Penn State about these alcoholic prevention things.
Yeah.
And also, Joe Pa's back in a new film. I believe it came out this Saturday and they were viewing it at the State Theater. A lot of people are very excited about that.
Yeah, I think it's great. I watched a trailer for it and it's really heartwarming because it makes you realize how much he really did do for the school, how dedicated he is, and his family too, despite everything that happened.
It's great to know that his legacy like lives on past him actually being here, you know what I mean?
Exactly, and the film's called The People's Joe. So The People's Joe, he's part of the community, and I know there's so many diehard Penn State fans that still to this day will preach for you to hours how great this person was.
Exactly.
Yeah, and plus too, even if you didn't go to the viewing, I believe that they're selling it on DVD at the student bookstore, which is great for people who love Penn State, who love Joe Pa.
Yeah, and talking about football, there is a new quarterback that, you know, just transitioned over from Indiana, and everybody's incredibly happy about that.
Yeah, no, it's so exciting. Who was it? Coach James Franklin, he tweeted, "We are better." And he has started doing this after every recruit he gets, and he's been doing great so far. We jumped to number 11 for recruiting.
Really? That's so great.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that amazing?
And yeah, so Tommy Stevens is coming in next year, and I feel like this is going to be a good thing for us. You know, ever since they're lifting the bans and all that stuff, everybody's getting more and more excited about the football program.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you know, football, sororities, everything's a part of Penn State life, but also Thon. It's coming up. 100 days till Thon. Everybody's so excited. This was 100 Days Till Thon was last week, I believe, correct?
Yeah, and then Family Carnival too happened recently.
Yeah, so we'll soon find out what the reveal is of the new logo. Yeah, so that's all from Penn State News. We'll be right back with the U.
Hi, and welcome back to TheU. So we're going to jump right into world and national news. So on Facebook recently, there was a plea from a young mother asking for someone to donate a liver for her dying daughter. The daughter has this like very rare liver disease that only 8 people in the United States have. So it turns out that an acquaintance from high school went in and he found out he was a match and donated 25% of his liver.
That's incredible.
How crazy is that? Like, so many times, like, we kind of underestimate, like, how great, like, people can be. And, like, that's just an example, like, an acquaintance from high school.
Yeah, exactly, because they weren't even, like, in an interview, she's like, we weren't even friends. Like, we just knew each other. And for someone to go out, like, go into surgery, too, for a little girl he doesn't even know.
Wow. And then the power of social media, like, through Facebook.
Incredible. I absolutely think that the internet's the greatest thing to get the word out, and so many good things have come from, you know, spreading the news on Facebook, Instagram, anything, and it's just so nice. It's so heartwarming knowing that there's really good people out there.
Yeah, and they were saying the surgery went great. She's going to be in the hospital, though, for the next 4 months. And same with the man. He'll be in the hospital, too, recuperating.
And it's not just even just this movement. It's also, like, thankful for the doctors who were in that surgery. I believe it was for 8 hours, 4 surgeons.
Wow.
It's, wow, the brain power that we have to change people's lives.
Exactly. And it's for, like, one person, someone who has so much life ahead of them. Like, that's just so great.
It's really a heartwarming story, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. You know? And then also, too, there was the first test tube baby penguin born in SeaWorld.
Wow.
I know. I was kind of weary at first reading the article. I was like, this penguin's probably going to look like really, really weird and like that sort of thing. But it looks exactly like all the others. You would never be able to pick it out from the rest of its group.
That's crazy. Just imagine what else is just going to happen with, like, science and
and I know they did this to keep going the population of penguins, and you diversify the penguins, and this is great because I've been hearing of so many things, you know, becoming endangered species, and, you know, we don't really think about that, but animals are dying, so we need to save them, and this is a great way of science doing that.
And especially, too, for the children who go to SeaWorld, and they probably have heard about, like, everything, because they're the next generation of researchers and biologists and whatnot.
And that's such a good point. Like, and when we were, like, growing up and went to SeaWorld, we didn't think, oh, this penguin was, like, a test tube penguin. Now, like, that great step, now they're going to make even greater steps, so that's great to, like, give thought to.
And then also, too, talking about science and whatnot, in the Netherlands, they made this solar-powered bike path.
Wow.
And it has like solar panels built into the sidewalk, and then they have like this protective glass over top of it so it doesn't get scratched.
Wow.
What is it supposed to do?
It powers the grid.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how large of a grid this encompasses, but I think it's still pretty cool that they come up with this innovative way to harness solar energy.
Yeah, it's incredible. It just everything is working around solar power, especially since we're trying to conserve our energy, everything, and just this new innovation is mind-blowing, and just exactly what we're talking about. Science is evolving, and it's great.
Yeah, they said that this project is for 2 years. They're going to test it out, and meanwhile, they're trying to make car streets.
Wow.
To do the same exact thing.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Hopefully we'll be able to bring that over to the United States so we can use it.
Definitely. And then also, too, closer to home, there's this pump and dump scheme.
Oh, gosh.
I know. People in Atlanta, well, actually it's throughout the whole country, but they just caught a whole like slew of people in Atlanta. And they were filling up their gas tanks, but in their, it's hard to describe, but in their SUV, they had this huge tank, and they were stealing this gas with stolen, they were paying for it with stolen credit cards. And they're only discovering this now that it's happening.
Wow.
So they steal the gas, and then what do?
They resell it. They resell it back to the gas.
For a lower price.
For a lower price, and then the customers pay full price for it.
That's insane.
But I just feel like that's kind of smart.
They should have used that like in school, like that mindset, and not do something illegal.
Something bad. Yeah. But I mean, it's great that we caught it, and you know now we're aware about it, and they're trying to fight in other places of the United States.
Yeah.
Talk about creativity, like to just steal like gas with like credit cards, like just went the full mile just to like give cheaper gas. Like those people are business people.
Yeah, and with the credit cards, I know there's so much security stuff like that that goes into it. It's kind of scary that it's getting stolen.
I know. I just can't believe that they really didn't figure it out until now. And then lastly, about criminal activity, it turns out that there's this new website called Instant Checkmate. And it's an online database, and you could pretty much search anybody, and it'll tell you their records, like where they live, if they're married, criminal records, anything. And I checked it out. It's actually real.
Wait,
did you look yourself up?
I looked myself up.
Wait.
It says how old I am, like where I live.
What?
Yeah, if I'm married or not. It's a bit much, I will say. It's completely free too. So
Wow.
So here's the thing. You know how like we're always like, oh, your future employees are gonna look at your Facebook. Now they don't even have to do that. Like they just type in your name to that.
Well, it links it too to your any social media that you have. It finds it out.
That's so terrible.
Wow, it's very scary, but at the same time, it's also great for employers to look at it and, you know, for us to clean ourselves up because we can't always be crazy and be doing different things.
Yeah. Well, that about sums it up for world and national news. Stay tuned for entertainment.
And we're back. So for entertainment, let's talk about Kim K's butt.
Oh my gosh. That's it.
Right. Okay. So I was scrolling down Instagram like at night. What day was this? Like Tuesday or something. And randomly I see like she uploaded like the picture of herself with like the butt, and I'm like, break the
one
internet.
with her butt.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of shots.
Yeah, there's a lot. And so she goes, break the internet. And I'm like, what does this mean? Like, break the internet. What did you guys think when you first saw that picture?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't even surprised. Coming from the Kardashians,
I had so much hope for Kim.
I know.
She's getting back on my good side.
But it was for a magazine called Paper, and it was shot by a famous photographer. And the reason of these shots was that he wanted to recreate some type of shoot that he had in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I know that she was very excited. I read in an interview that that she was shooting her, and it was incredible, and they connected on so many levels that they actually asked the crew of the photo shoot to leave so they could have a privacy session, and her clothes ended up coming off.
Really?
So that's how it was shot, and that's how it came out. And you know, some people say it's art. I personally have a half art, half you're being really obsessed with your butt right now type of sense. But
you know what? You know how you said he wanted to recreate a picture he did like long ago? I saw the picture, and there was like a lot of uproar on the internet about how no one saw that as kind of being, oh, so risque, and like your whole ass, butt is like on like the internet for everyone to see. But I guess people kind of judge Kim harder.
Yeah, no.
Because this, like the exact picture with everything, it was just recreated. And like everyone judged it, but that's because she
did it for free though too.
She did it for free?
yeah.
Yes.
I think it's also how it said break the internet. That's so Kim Kardashian, but that's also very modern, you know?
Yeah.
She went viral. That's what she wanted, and I feel like that was the whole point of this whole shoot.
She is the internet. Like, she is the success story of like social media, you know what I mean? But speaking of her butt, people's reaction, Chelsea Handler, did you see her picture?
Oh my gosh.
She's hilarious.
I can't believe she really has a lot of valor to do that. She stripped down and took a picture of her butt as well.
Well, she did like a topless pic too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did on a horse. Was she on
I'm not sure if she was on a horse, but I know that she took a topless picture too.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, oh my goodness. But I mean, props to her because she is calling Kim out for doing something like that.
And she shows, you know, hey, I can do it too.
Exactly. Did you see Nick Jonas's picture too?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, his brother Joe, he photoshopped a picture of his head on Kim's body.
Oh my God.
I know.
All these celebrities. Wait, speaking of the Jonas Brothers, Joe Jonas, okay, we all kind of saw him as the hot one, but Nick,
wow.
he's coming out and being pretty racy.
Yes, yeah, so incredible. I know he's coming out with a new album. He came out with those pictures holding his own genitalia.
Yeah, and he says he wants his fans to have sex to his music.
Wow. I mean,
a bit much. I mean, I feel like he's going through the transition phase from being a Disney Channel star to be taken seriously as an adult.
I kind of think it's necessary because when I think of him, I think, see, I've been to the year 3000.
I know.
And now he doesn't want us to see him like that anymore. So you have to do what you got to do to make it big.
I don't know. I think it's too much of a PR scheme. I think they're trying way too hard to put him out there again, and I feel like he should just be himself. But if being himself is being sexual, okay, I understand, but I think it's taking it way too far.
You know who's not afraid to be themselves? Taylor Swift. She will write about anything. She does anything. She's someone who doesn't have to reinvent herself because every time she comes out with something new, we kind of expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in Blank Space, her new music video that came out, it was this whole cinematic story and about, you know, not taking cheating and everything. And I like how she's taking a point of, you know, broadcasting a good point for young girls. I really like that a lot. But I'm kind of mad about her with the whole Spotify thing.
Yeah, because she took off her album, right?
Yeah.
For people to listen to. And I mean, with Spotify, you can't download the music. It's just to listen to.
Yeah.
So it's kind of upsetting. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Taylor Swift, but I know like my friends are huge fans of her, and they were they were so devastated about it. It was ridiculous.
I know, exactly. And, you know, she did it because, you know, art should be paid for, and her music is art. And talking about art and, you know, different types of money, things like that, there's also that jewelry line that helps homeless people.
Caitlin Crosby that she had, so she was creating, what was it, necklace keys? And then what was that story about, like, the homeless people?
Oh, so she started making these keys, and she was just mass producing them just for fans because the fans loved her music, so they were like, oh, we'll buy the keys too. And she was walking down the street, she ran into this homeless couple, and they were explaining to her their story of how they lost their home and everything. And she was like, oh, well, how about you come and work for me? So you have a job. And then later they were able to get their first apartment because of that job.
That's so nice.
And she still is continuing to do that. And now all these celebrities.
Yeah.
That's really nice. I really, talking about, again, good causes and celebrities and all that thing, I think that's great that she's giving jobs to all these homeless people, and, you know, they're being thankful for something and having a job and things like that.
And just in time for Thanksgiving, like, talk about having stuff to be thankful for.
Yes. We'll be right back to talk about what we're thankful for Thanksgiving.
Hi, and welcome back to TheU. So, as our last segment, we thought it would be great for viewers and for us to talk about our Thanksgiving traditions and what we're thankful for. So, Laura,
I am thankful for studying abroad. It's really weird, but I'm going next spring, and I'm so excited, and I'm so thankful for programs like this, and I'm gonna get an experience of my lifetime. But as always, every year I'm thankful for my family.
How about any traditions?
I don't know. It's really weird because I'm from Colombia, and I came here when I was 6, and my parents are very Colombian as well. And so we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving in Colombia. It's kind of just like a big meal type of stuff. And we don't eat turkey at all. So maybe just as a tradition, we always get together with my family to have a big meal, bring in traditional foods from Colombia, and it's great. I'm always so stuffed, and I always go to sleep right after and gear up for Black Friday.
Well, that's like for me too. I'm always so stuffed. My mom, she's always insistent on making Thanksgiving dinner, but we go to my dad's side of the family that night. So we have 2 Thanksgiving meals for Thanksgiving. My mom cooks the lunch, and then my dad's side cooks the dinner.
Do you have 2 Thanksgivings?
Oh my goodness, yes. It's smaller, of course, for lunch, but by the end of the day, I'm like, no more turkey. I'm done with this. But talking about what I'm thankful for, like, I would have to say my family. I know that's so typical, but being in college, it like really makes me realize how much I miss home and being with my family and my
Yes.
friends from home.
Incredibly.
See, I'm thankful for family, of course, but for number one, I'd have to say the Blue Loop.
Oh my goodness.
Can I just say temperatures are dropping, and I am so glad that even if it's for one stop, I will get on that bus and ride it because it is so cold
I
now.
know. I'm always so embarrassed whenever I first get on and I see a person seeing me get on and then seeing me get off the next stop. I'm like, don't look at me, but I'm getting off the next stop.
Also, for traditions, my family's Nigerian, but we just put a Nigerian twist on our Thanksgiving. Like, we'll have all the cultural foods and stuff. My mom gets like so extra. We get a DJ and everything. Like,
wow.
Family from everywhere comes, so it's a big deal. Like, I love Thanksgiving.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
so incredible that you have family come and just celebrate
Yeah.
at your house.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week's show. I'm Laura Barbosa.
I'm Laurel Heineman.
And I'm Adiola Bacre.
See you next time.